Hi guys, this one's been a long time coming, but I've finally found the time to make it. I've just got an old towel down because I have to drip quite a lot of water to get the ink to run. This is the canvas, printing on canvas through an inkjet printer. This is the canvas that I buy, and I'll put a link of where I get it from in New Zealand and what it's called. It's just called a canvas pad. You've got one side that's been prepped for painting, and you've got one side that's still raw canvas. So a couple of tips before I go and put it through the inkjet printer and print on both sides, because I've made a few mistakes. First of all, print first on both sides. When you print on the raw canvas, it takes in the ink a lot quicker, and you can't really treat or add water to or run that side. This side, however, because it's been prepared, the ink takes a little bit longer to dry, so when you add water you can get some really nice dripping effects and smudging effects. I print on both sides first because the first time I did it, I printed on this side, I did my effects, but the canvas gets a little bit wrinkly after you've added the water, even if you flatten it out, and it doesn't like going through the inkjet printer as much. If you don't want to ruin your inkjet printer, then probably don't try this. try it at your own risk, because I don't think they're made to print on this. I just love doing extra experiments and things. Okay, so I will just go and print on both sides, and I will come back. Okay, so here we go. You'll notice this is the white side printed on. You'll notice that the colours come out quite muted, and you lose some of the detail compared to what you would get if you were printing on paper, but I guess that's just because it's being printed on canvas. But I'll give you an example. This peony here is actually my first digital drawing that I've done, because I want to create some papers that I don't have to worry about copyright. This is the original peony that I have drawn, and I'm going to make some papers out of that. And I have muted it down because if you've seen my journals you would know that a lot of them are quite muted anyway. It is important to know I print it in my printer on best. I select HP photo papers from the drop down, and I print borderless so that you don't have to worry about cutting off the border, because it will make your paper smaller. There are sometimes little bits that you can still see, but you can cover that up with the dripping technique if you like. Okay, so I just have a jar of water, and the paintbrushes that I usually like to use are a round watercolor painting brush. It just gives me a bit of control with how much water I put on it, and I just start adding a bit of water, and then I will hold it up so that it drips through, and you'll notice that you'll end up with some white parts where the ink's completely come off. I might keep it away from the peonies because I quite like how they look. Sometimes I will put watercolours on as well. Sometimes I will dab away some of the ink if it's gone too dark as well, because that will dry quite dark. Sometimes I will do areas that I just want to blank out a bit more. And the gold that I use is this. It's Winsor & Newton gold, and it's got a lot of pigment in it, so I need to shake it and mix it up. And I just like to, it's a water based, so I like to add it to the water based and drip that. So now it's all mixed up. then I will just put some in a few spots first, and then I just add water again. And sometimes I won't let it drip down to the bottom so that the gold remains a little bit more concentrated. Then I will dry it, and I will come back because I often add a few paint splatters and some stamping as well. You can turn it around the other way and do some in the opposite direction as well. I'm just going to put a couple of drips through that peony as well in the opposite direction. Okay, I'm going to let that dry and then I will be back. Okay, I'm back. It's reasonably dry. As you can see though, it does curl up a little bit, which is why I recommend doing the printing first on the other side. I've just got some Distress Oxide and ground espresso from Ranger Inks. I might use some black soot and some vintage photo. The stamps that I'm using are pretty much just writing, a couple of labels, and this one which you will see as I use it. Okay, I'm happy with that. Just a few more details there. And now I will do some splattering. Now for the splattering, actually, I usually use one of these brushes. I just find the ink comes off it better for splattering. Still using the same Winsor & Newton gold, And there it is. I might sometimes do some black ink splattering just to pull out a little bit more contrast, but that is how you do it using your inkjet printer. And then once it's dry, it can fold, and you've got beautiful journal pages that are really great for sewing things onto, sewing pockets. You could just leave as is. You could do a belly band and use this as a background and put a notepad in so you've got journal writing space. But yeah, that's it. Easy as that. I hope that inspires you to maybe try something different if you haven't tried it before. And always let me know in the comments if you have any other questions. Okay guys, bye.